Hi, it's Kathy Press again, and I am back with my YouTube series, my YouTube channel, and on geriatric care management. And we are doing now, if your parent wants to move in with you, or you think your parent should move in with you, should you do that? And this is a trying subject for many people. You know, the first thing you need to, statistically, does your parent, not your parent, but all parents, do they really want to move in with you? Not really. The Gallup poll in 2012, they polled this, and they found out that only 34% of older people really wanted to move in with their family. 38 were unsure. So the overwhelming interest is not there. However, many older people cannot afford home care, and they can't afford senior housing, which is very, very expensive. So, and their families can't afford it either. So it is a default choice in many, many cases, especially with the economic downturn in 2008, which seems to be getting a little bit better, but many older people really have no alternative, and many families moved in together in 2008 afterwards for reasons of keeping a house. I actually came from a family that my mother's family lost their house in the beginning of the Depression to the bank, and my grandparents moved in with my great-grandparents. So my mother grew up in such a family. She loved her great-grandparents, which we'll talk about later. So a geriatric care manager can really help with this, and this is really a service that a geriatric care manager can render. And it's a cost-effective service that geriatric care managers can offer, because they can assess whether it's possible or not possible and give you options in a care plan, and you can go off but you've had a professional really look at this, and that's really important because there's so many factors in it. Safety is one we're going to talk about. If it's the best choice for your aging parent, is it the best choice for you? So a geriatric care manager can really offer this service. And basically, it's the same steps that a geriatric care manager takes, in that a geriatric care manager will assess the situation. Just some of the things that a care manager would look at is family dynamics, and that's what I'm talking about. Do you really want your family to, the teenagers to deal with this? Do you want to deal with this? Does the older person get along with you, or in the past did they? All these things need to be looked at. And it's not just now, it's in the future. Now you can move your older family member in, but what happens 20 years from there, which I personally have had experience with, because my dad lived with me for 20 years. The decrements of age change radically, and you may have to be changing adult diapers when you didn't even imagine that. Basically, you need to look at the cost of care, because there's still cost involved in having someone live with you, or the older person living with you, buying a house. And your strengths as a caregiver, and your weaknesses as a caregiver, because you've turned into a caregiver, which actually long-term care is mostly provided by family members that have no idea how to give shots, or didn't know body mechanics so they wouldn't hurt their backs. You have to look at home safety. A lot of renovations have to happen. You have to look at the finances. Basically, can you afford this? Can the older person, because it's going to take a lot of renovations and they're expensive. Legal. Should you have a contract with the older person? Should you have a contract with all of your siblings? And legally it should be taken care of, but how? Distribution of their furniture. I'll talk a lot about that, but that seems like a minor thing compared to everything else, but it's really important, because everyone's home is filled by their history and what they love. So what's going to happen to their history and what they love? The older person. And do you really want your mother's furniture in the house? Space limitations, really important. And I'm not just talking about physical space, I'm talking about emotional space. Do you want somebody right near you all the time? Especially if it's the mother you didn't get along with. And remodeling costs. So all of this can be taken up in a geriatric assessment, and a home safety assessment, and a geriatric assessment. So a geriatric care manager is the perfect person to help you. We'll see you next time. Go to my website, kathykress.com. I blog along with all of these YouTubes, and I will see you next time.